Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming you all back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Yeah, last we left off, Larry's Larry is on the witness stand. Whew, can't talk. And we learned that he witnessed something. Apparently, he put it on paper. Iris flying over a burning bridge. I made this crack already once, but I'll do it again. Is this the flying nun? With Sally Field. Okay, yeah, so a bit of an odd place that I stopped, I know, but yeah, like I said, I was getting tired and it was 40 minutes and all that good stuff, but I think it ended up being a good place because it's such an absurd note. Like, you must have witnessed it. I believe you did. But how would someone fly over a burning bridge? It's kind of impossible. What did you see? Yeah, well, I'm a donum. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Tell us, Lottie. Oh, look, my name is Laurice, alright? For the last time, get it right. Mistakes like that are what keep you from being popular with the ladies, like I am, Edgy. Who exactly are you, witness? I'm Laurice Donham, apprentice extraordinaire. That's what he calls himself in any case. Then you are an artist. Of course, I'm an artist, the real thing. Yet again, that is what he claims to be. Names mean nothing. There is only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing that night? That is a very big issue indeed. Sketching, duh! Right in front of the bridge. I was just suddenly whipped into a frenzy of art. Could the reason you were so excited be? Hey, what do you think? My girlfriend was flying through the sky, almost 30 feet above the bridge. Felt like I might start flying myself, honestly. Oh, if you'd only be so kind as to fly your way out of our lives. Anyway, I completely lost myself when I was drawing this scene. I saw Iris flying, you know, with her white hood fluttering in the wind. Where did you see this sight from, Lolly? Hey, no need to shout. Well, it was when I was lying in bed in that rundown shack. You know, the crack of lightning bolt just made me realize the bridge was burning. Just watched it for a while from there, thinking how nicely it was burning and all that. And after about 5 or so minutes, I saw it. Is the defendant flying? Yeah, that's right. That's when I decided to go to the bridge. I see. It does make sense. Aside from the sketch itself, that is. Yes, the sketch doesn't make any sense. I just need to convince the artist that his work is ludicrous. The shock and all I was feeling, I transferred it right onto that page. You transferred everything directly to the page. And that is the fruit of this sketch here. Yep, sensational, isn't it, Edgy? Or, maybe scandalous is a better word. It put my mind at ease anyway. It did. Yeah, the reason she didn't come to me, even though I waited for her, it was all because she was trapped on the other side of the bridge. Could it be that Iris... Could it be that she undertook that dangerous, desperate flight just to reach me? You know, that's gotta be it. Go me! Ah! Continue. Please. Yes, please do not continue with that insane monologue. That is... Dude, you are living in a dream. A dream that you need to wake up from. That is the truth. Oh, dude, Larry. And before I realized it, the flames had gone out and then he came running up. You forgot the passage of time to that extent.
Well, once I get caught up in something, I tend to forget everything else around me.
That is true. He's always been that way. I guess he's not lying about that, at least.
Phoenix Wright appeared on the scene after 11:15. If he was drawing until then, that dispels all doubts. Aside from doubts of his humanity, eh?
There is a big clue waiting for me in this cross-examination. His testimony does nothing less than mock this court. I am sure that there is a vital kernel of truth hidden in it somewhere.
As the case may be, yes, there would be. What am I looking for? Oh no. I don't know. Look, like I said, I believe that he saw someone flying through the air. It's too absurd for him to just lie about it, so he must be telling the truth. The question then is, what does it mean, and how? Flying over a bridge, that's impossible! I think this was new. I don't remember from the last episode, I really don't, but I think it was. Well, I suppose this would make sense because I guess the best contradiction here is to say it wasn't Iris flying. Again, I admit that he's telling the truth. Someone flew through the air. Somehow. I just don't think it's Iris. And I guess at that point, I need to prove that it couldn't have been her. Her white hood fluttering. The fact he mentions the hood means that I should consider how she was dressed at that time. Okay, no, that makes sense then. Actually, no, I got it. This happened around, 11-ish, give or take, when he saw the whole flying thing happening. And Lights Out Bell was at 10. Iris had already given her hood to Wright. I keep saying Wright. I'm adopting Edgeworth here. To Phoenix. So, did you really see a hood? And if you did, how? Because Iris was not wearing a hood. If she was honestly flying through the air at that moment in time. That's impossible. Lights Out Bell happens at 10. I remember that.
Lolly, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care, mind you.
Hey! In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw, Edgy. I'll give you a whole $1, that is the truth.
Well, if that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain.
And what might that be, Mr. Edgeworth?
That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris.
What? What do you mean? I don't understand, Edgy. Ah! A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim?
Tell us, Lolly. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood. Is that correct?
Oh, of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Ah! It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench.
Lolly, I'm afraid there is something you must be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had already given it to Wright as a gift earlier that evening. Are you now going to then change your story? Perhaps you're going to suggest it was Wright who took flight.
What are you talking about?
I think you understand what I mean just fine.
Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood?
What?
Angie! What's going on with Iris and Nick? Why, you Nick! You dog!
Dude, that's not the most important thing here!
I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, be discredited, and discarded straight into the garbage. What is it now, Weakness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this day to come. Angie, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you.
What?
What is the meaning of your outburst, Witness? I hate to have to do this, but I do have some definitive proof.
Definitive?
Evidence. Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Maurice Dunham, shall prove it.
What?
I didn't expect to be asking this again. But we shall require your testimony once more. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch. And show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay. Hope you're ready, Edgy. Because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain.
You've been serving us a whopping heap of pain this whole time. Trust me on that, laddie.
You have? You have proof of this? How? So, when I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over the place for her. That ended up leading me to find this beautiful crystal sphere, just half buried in the snow. I'm pretty sure that Iris is simply wearing a spare hood. I mean, after all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. A crystal sphere? Yeah, this one. Pretty neat, isn't it? But, finders keepers. Hey, that sphere. Where did you find it? Let me see. That's the map, right? Around here somewhere, I think. Yeah, that looks about right.
And it was half buried in snow.
Yeah, pretty much stopped snowing by then, but there was still some falling as I was walking to the bridge. Well, the court does accept this crystal sphere as evidence. It's mine, okay? I want it back afterward, promise. There's something on it. Oh my! It's blood!
What? Blood?
A crystal sphere found half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge. Has blood on it. Blood? What? You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you will be calling me Master Larry. Let's settle that. No one's gonna be pushing me around anymore.
But didn't you want to be called Maurice Dunham only a few moments ago?
Well, name is a fickle thing. Can be changed so easily. More importantly,
What?
crystal sphere found it half buried in the snow, and it was still snowing as you were going to the bridge. I mean, this is very key evidence, yes, but what does this do to our case? When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone.
So you went up to the burning bridge?
That's right, to meet Iris. She actually flew to get to me. The least I could do was meet her halfway. But the defendant was not at the bridge when you got there. Yeah, I guess she ended up going back to Hazakura Temple. She's a girl after all. She must have wanted to look her best.
Oh, it must be lovely to live in the fantasy land that is Larry's mind.
Actually, it's so depressing that I can't even walk up the edge to point.
So, what did you do next? Yeah, that honestly is quite depressing. It's like, dude, please, don't do this. It's very sad. I pressed the wrong button. It is very sad to be living in such a fantasy that is so impossible. I was worried, so I just started frantically searching all over the place for her.
So you searched all over?
Yes, like I said. I mean, she was flying pretty high, you know. I thought maybe she slipped on her landing and got hurt. I mean, it was more than possible. Also, when I headed out to the shack the first time, I was snacking on a banana. I was pretty sure I threw the peel away somewhere around there, so, you know.
Can one guy really be this stupid? So, did you find any signs of her so-called landing?
Honestly, I don't really remember. I kept falling over myself and kinda lost it for a while there.
You fell over yourself?
Oh, sorry. You fell over yourself. Yeah, the snow was deep and there's even a banana peel out there.
Yes. The stupid and then there's lollipops.
The short of it is that you didn't find any signs of her landing, correct? And then what happened next?
He slipped on his own banana peel and forgot he discarded the banana peel. You just said that and you forgot you did it a minute later. Yeah, Edgeworth, you're right. There's stupid and then there's Larry Butts. God, that is high level of scatterbrained.
Well, that led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, you know, just half buried in the snow.
Half buried?
Yeah, it was in the snow with a little gathered on top of it. Very hard to spot, actually. I mean, it was dark out. Well, I must admit that I am impressed. You did really well to find it. Hey, no matter what you think when you look at me, I'm a pro. A genius security guard. I used a penlight I borrowed from my company to help in my search. And it sparkled real brightly. You know, as if it was saying, here I am.
Well, it does indeed look very much like the crystal sphere on Alice's hood. But need I remind you that she was not wearing it that night?
Yeah, well, I'm sure she was just simply wearing a spare hood, that's all.
Lolly, each nun is assigned their own hood, and only one.
I don't know anything about that, okay? Besides, hers is special. Even if she did steal a spare hood, yeah, I'll forgive her.
Oh, this is getting us nowhere. Our destination for the day, it seems.
However, this crystal sphere was found near the bridge. That alone is a fact. If it didn't come from a hood, then where did it come from?
And that is the question I aim to answer.
Well, I mean, no one else could have lost the crystal sphere that night.
Okay, then let me confirm with you one last time, Larry. The reasons you thought that this was Alice are the hood and this crystal sphere you found, correct?
Yeah, my gut is never wrong, I'll tell you that much. I met that old bikini the next morning, and her crystal sphere was still there, safe and sound.
Oh,
Indeed. She was wearing it in this very room earlier today.
oh, this case isn't going to end without a fight. Exposing the obvious contradictions in this testimony will be easy. But I fear that all that awaits us are further mysteries.
That is not helpful.
So, I guess that is the question of the day. Who could have lost this crystal sphere?
Oh, excuse me. It wasn't Bikini, that's for sure. I don't think it was Iris, because she wasn't wearing her hood then. I mean... Wait. Didn't... Oh, but do I have proof of that? I'm thinking that... Remember the staff that Elise Donham had with her? It had I think she got an amethyst on it, so that's what this sphere is. It's a polished amethyst stone. Did she lose it? I don't remember. I think... Do I have her staff? That's not what I wanted. Oh, god damn it. Yes. Do I have her staff? I do, right here. Carried by Elise Donham when she was alive. Has her fingerprints on it. Is it this? Yeah, because I remember there is the stone on top of it. She told, she told Phoenix, Maya, and Pearl about it.
Lolly. That night, there was someone. Someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? Well, who? Who was this stupid idiot?
Miss Elise Donham, the mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
I have here a photo of her. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Hey, that's my photograph! Give it back, Edgy! Ow! A crystal sphere like that is easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch.
What? They look nothing alike! In any case, please, take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime.
The crystal sphere. It's gone. What? What are the implications of that? Does that mean that Elise Donham was there? It has to. That's what it implies. Just what does this mean?
If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood, and more importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers.
So are you saying it's Elise Donham's? Then that means that the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Donham. A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. Hey, you can't do that! I saw! And this crystal sphere. This is nothing more than a red herring.
Francisca, do you honestly believe that?
Give it some thought, Miles Edgeworth. Do that and I'm sure you will realize it. Elise Donham was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all. Mouse? Okay. That was like the mouse refused to click there.
Miss Francisca von Karma. The only people who will accept such an explanation are scatterbrains and clowns.
Hey! Why are you pointing at me when you're saying that?
The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. And yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with this case.
That crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There is blood on it, isn't there? This naturally suggests it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch.
mean that I'm the killer? Go away! All joking aside, just then did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge. Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to this case.
I hate to admit it, but she makes a valid point. There is no evidence tying Elise Donham to the idea of her leaving Hazakura Temple that night. And yet, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely.
Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to this case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourselves for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth.
Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place?
Well, the murder took place at Hazakura Temple. Oh god, I need to think. I don't know. Okay, shoot. Well, okay, let's start with something that I can do first, obviously. Remember the conditions at the scene of the crime. And compare it with the stone. Maybe I can figure out something from that. I don't think we discovered anything about the staff. I mean, it was there, it's missing the stone. It means nothing. For now, at least, I think. But something that could indicate it was dropped before the murder took place. The condition of when the body was discovered, which is immortalized in photograph. I remember we made it a point, I think last episode, to say that Elise's body was not covered in snow, meaning that when she was killed, it had already stopped snowing. Oh, you know, it's possible then. Wait. It's a matter of minutes, but I think the snow might actually prove my point. The crystal was found half buried in snow. That's what Larry said. He also testified that as he went up to the bridge, it was still snowing. If it had kept snowing, he wouldn't have seen it at all. It was half buried in snow, and yet Elise's body has not even a fleck of snow on it. It's a matter of minutes, but I think the snow can prove it. I think it just might. That means the crystal sphere was dropped before she was murdered. Yeah, I think I can. It's funny, it's like, let me think about the scene of the crime, the conditions of it, and compare with the crystal sphere, see if anything could jive. And funnily enough, it worked.
Can I prove it? No, that's not the issue here. Is to simply prove it. That's the only option I have. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case.
You'll do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered.
Well, that should come as no surprise. Because right now I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered.
Very well then, Miles Edgeworth. I order you to present your evidence immediately. Evidence proving that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder.
Oh,
There are a couple of... No, actually, I think there's only one thing. I have the crystal sphere, right? I didn't examine it, so this is a free look. Yeah, half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge. Yeah, that's a free look, because I didn't see it when it was first given to us. I mean, the description, yes, but I didn't go into the court record to look at it. So this is a free look. Yeah, so I think this is it. Because what I just explained, and this is what the crystal sphere says. There's blood on it, yes, but found half covered in snow. That means when it was dropped, it was still snowing. I think this is evidence enough. The conditions in when this was found.
This crystal sphere. Lottie, are you certain that it was half buried in the snow when you found it?
Yeah, that's right. I can't believe you guessed that I was gonna speak next, but you're clairvoyant, Edgy. Anyway, if it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. Snow would have just totally covered it.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear.
What?
When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if ever so slightly.
Snowing?
On the other hand, let us take another look at the scene of the crime. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ergo, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder.
What? Order!
On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal to come loose.
What could it have been?
The sphere. There is some blood on it, correct? Then allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
It is possible.
The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura courtyard. Well, only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness.
And just who is the fool? And on that note, which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma?
Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura temple courtyard.
But that's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what Miss Bikini saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body.
That's the same thing!
No, it isn't! You've already said it yourself, Miss Von Karma.
Very little blood is actually lost at the time of a blade's insertion. Though if you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost, well, that would be when the blade is removed.
If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
But you are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Elise Donham's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge back. Are you meaning to suggest that someone carried the body all the way, just like that?
I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events are also perfectly plausible.
Exactly. At this moment, we don't need to prove that is the truth. We just need to prove it happened. And I think I know. She's right. It's crazy to think someone would piggyback a corpse all the way back to the temple. That is a 15-minute walk. But remember, there are return tracks from the snowmobile. What if the snowmobile was already there, where Elise and her killer went to the foot of Dusky Bridge, or however it happened, the snowmobile came over. Elise gets killed, the killer then loads her body up onto the snowmobile and carts her back to the temple. I don't know why they would bring her back to the temple, that remains to be seen, but I think that's proof enough that this is an entirely plausible scenario.
And now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, show us the method by which the victim's body was carried back to Hasakura Temple.
Where is it? Right here, the tracks photo, right? Yeah, right there. There are return tracks. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense that her body was loaded up onto here and it just drove right on back.
On that snowy night, there is only one way that a body could have been moved successfully. The snowmobile. As we all know, it was used that night. That was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon. However, it could also have very well been used to carry a body.
Order! 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 This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave.
What do you mean, Miss Von Karma?
The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who then moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin?
Not exactly, no. No. It proves that she moved the body. It doesn't prove that she's the murderer. It still doesn't. We don't know what happened at the foot of Dusky Bridge. She could have just carted the body away. That's it. She could have just done that. Doesn't mean she's the murderer.
You're too late, Francisca Von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We've proven that this case requires further investigation.
What?
Where was the victim Elise Donham really killed? If her body was moved, then whatever for? And finally, as much as I hate to admit this, we still don't know what this image means.
Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it in detail.
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity, to that I will admit. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is so enamored with. He drew this, and so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point.
Edgy, thank you. I suppose that settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances.
Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It's just as I thought. Francisca Von Karma, you make a wonderful partner.
Excuse me?
There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here today. To expose the darkness that lurks in this case, and then pass the reins on to Wright.
Really? That's what all this was about? Well, man, you could have just told me that from the very beginning. I mean, I wouldn't have had friends. Hey! Miles Edgeworth, I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel.
A shame then that your chance seems to have slipped by.
What a shame! This is all your fault. Such a terrible weakness. You're an affront to all the legal system stands for. I demand satisfaction.
Ooh, he was whipped into oblivion. Oh my. I demand satisfaction by whipping him to oblivion. I did not mean to click, but whatever. That was not important script, apparently. Whoops. Probably along the lines of,
It seems that we have come to the end of the day's proceedings. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions we have arrived at. Have the witnesses' words here today been the truth, or are they all just lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and prosecution. Is that clear?
And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright.
Very well then. Court is now adjourned.
And we're done. Wow. Okay, so that actually ended up being a good place to end the video in the middle of a testimony. Funnily enough. No, really. No. I can't believe it, but that stone does prove the possibility that she was there at the foot of Dusky Bridge. Is that the real scene of the crime? Was she killed there? What did she simply... Was her body simply there and Iris, for whatever reason, took it back to the temple? We don't know. All we know is that Elise Donham and Iris were at the foot of Dusky Bridge at some point. At some point. That's all we know. And to Francisca's point, just because she has the key to the snowmobile doesn't mean she was the murderer. Again, it just means that she carted the body back to the temple. It doesn't mean anything more until we have more evidence. We need to explore it. And I honestly don't know where this is going to take us, but at the very least, we've created a gap in the prosecution's logic, and that is all we can do right now. Now, we need to investigate this gap and see where it takes us. And until then, resting my voice, drinking more, in this case, tea today, and I will see you after a nice weekend off. Later, everyone.